What's going on, y'all? Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good week as always. I'm live from California. We just had a huge earthquake, a 7.1. So I hear the firefighters, probably the ambulance. I'm okay though. Hopefully everyone else is okay. But I wanted to chat with you guys for a few minutes, and then also I wanted to go over some earthquake statistics, because I found out at first I was like, oh shoot, the big one's gonna come after this one. But it looks like this is the big one. This was a 7.1, and that makes that top 12 in California history. Hopefully there's not another one. If there is, I might have to duck off camera and make sure that this painting doesn't fall on my head. Yeah, no, I'm okay for now, but it sucks too. I know you guys know well, actually I don't want to put my foot on camera. That's kind of gross, but I had a spike go through my foot. So not only I can't walk, and I'm just like the bed shaking. I was like, oh man, here we go again. So I went to the floor, and I think you're supposed to go like wherever there's some sturdy stuff. So I went by my bed. I had a little cocoon, you know. I was like, cuckoo. No, but it's all good. So someone said it sounds like California's gonna float away soon. No, it's all good. I wanted to go over because at first I'm texting my friends. I'm like, hopefully the big one's not coming after this, and they were like, hopefully that was the big one. So it made me look up some statistics, and it looks like that's in the top 10. Yeah, we'll chat about it. I'm gonna pin my stuff at the top. If you don't already know, sign up to my free email list. If you don't want it, that's fine. See, the bad part, maybe I can't pin it. All right. The bad part is I can't really use the stairs, so I got to use the elevator. Usually I just run up the stairs. So I'm like, hopefully my elevator didn't break. I just want to read you guys the top 10 earthquakes. Then we'll talk about this one real quick, because I know everyone's going to talk about, oh my God, everything started shaking for 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Luckily, nothing fell in my house. The TV didn't fall. My computer, I don't think fell. I probably would have heard it. So I'm all good. Thank you guys for checking. But let's do a little history. So we're going to go through the top 10 earthquakes. The biggest earthquake in California history was on January 9th. 1857 in Fort Tejon, 7.9. 2 people killed and a 220-mile surface scar. I don't know what that means, but if it's anything, I guess the earth scars just like we do. The earth is not so different from you and I. Second biggest was tied, 7.9 on April 18th, 1906, San Francisco. 3,000 killed? Holy shit. I guess that's before they started. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse. I know someone said the other day, they're like, I have my 4-year-old kid watching you. I was like, I'm sorry, sometimes I let one slip. And other times I am a little profane, like in my music, certain songs. So sorry, parental advisory warning. 3,000 killed, yikes. $524 million in property damage, including fire damage. Hopefully that doesn't happen anymore. I think after that, they started building a little bit better. Before then, they were like, They probably listened to Bill Nye the Science Guy back then, and they were like, we control the planet, we control the climate. And then they're like, oh wait, we don't actually control anything. The earthquake controls this. And then they started building. All right, people are like, Anomaly, did you have to make that political? Did you have to make a jab at Bill Nye? I probably didn't, but I thought it was funny. Oh well, I ruined it. Third biggest was a 7.8. I'm still my heart's a little racing, but I'm trying to be strong. You know, I'm not trying to be a soy boy. Unless you like soy and you're a strong man, you know, do what you got to do. 7.8, third biggest, was in March 26, 1872 in Owens Valley. It killed 27. 3 aftershocks of 6.25. I guess I should probably be watching for an aftershock. That'll be kind of cool though if we get it on camera. Hopefully I don't die, because then it's lame. It's like, man, Anomaly died for the clout, man. He really wanted to get that live stream in. I'm like, guys, look it, and then the painting You know, that's a sad way to go. All for the clout. Nah, all jokes aside, hopefully there's no more. I don't know. There was one 2 days ago. There was one last night. I didn't feel the one last night. This one was enormous. It was like a roller coaster. I'm fine though. I don't want to jinx it. 3,000 people dying. Yikes, that's horrible. But I'm doing the math. Obviously, any life is a bad life. But I'm like, man, only because they're like, dude, the big one in 1976, and they're like 30 people died. I was like, 30? That's it? Like, then I just got it. Not that that's obviously bad, but I'm like, hopefully my building is built good, you know? Because if it's only 30, that means one person kind of screwed up. I was going to say effed up, but I didn't, because there's probably 4-year-olds watching me apparently. I'm not sure why, but all right. So the fourth biggest one in history is a 7.5. Someone said Bill Nye's not a scientist. Janet, what did we? No, I'm just kidding. I started it. You're right, Janet. Fourth biggest one is 7.5, July 21st, 1952 in Kern County. 12 killed, 3 aftershocks of 6 plus. A lot of aftershocks. Okay, we got to watch out for those. The fifth biggest, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got to count. All right, the fifth biggest one was in West Eureka in 1922, 37 miles offshore. I guess no one got hurt because it was offshore. Good to know. So, sixth biggest one, 7.3, 1927, Lompoc, no major injuries, slight damage. That's good. 7.3, Landers, 1 killed, 400 injured, 6.5 aftershock. We're going to get to ours. 7.2, Mendocino, damaged homes in several towns. Okay, that's all right. We can build that back. 7.2, West Eureka, injured 6. It's okay. We can heal up, just like me. 1.75 million in damages. 7.2, 6.5, and 6.6 aftershock. And then we get to where we are. The 7.1. We made histories, guys. We're top 12, I guess. It's not that impressive, but yeah, I'm praying that it stops. I couldn't tell this last week because there were like 3 earthquakes. I was like, am I shaking? Is the house shaking? Is things tilted? And because of my foot injury, I haven't really been going out that much. So I'm already kind of dizzy as is. I was like, man, if you guys don't know, you're watching this stream, I stepped on a parking spike. They didn't really have good signature, and it's right next to the beach and the sidewalk. And I stepped through that. That was like a nightmare. And then I'm like in bed, just like trying to heal up. And then the earth starts shaking. I was like, it feels like a movie, but like the bad part of the movie. You're like, gosh darn it. You're like, come on now, earth. Come on now, not now. Let's wait another week so I can run out of the building if I have to. So overall, I just wanted to share some history, and I'll chat up. We'll do a little Q&A because we got some time. But that's it. 7.1. I thought it was going to get worse. I don't want to jinx it because it's probably worse in some areas, but I was like, that's it. I'm not, once again, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that because everyone else is so scared, but I'm like, it's not that bad. It's kind of like when the spike went through my foot. I was like, it wasn't that bad. It was bad, but like the worst part is not walking. Like that's worse. It's kind of like this. I'm like, it's not been that bad, but then I don't want to jinx it and get like an 8.0. God's like, oh, I'm like, you're right. I'm sorry. That's what happened at the hospital. He said the needle's going to hurt the most. He put it in my foot and he put it in like 15 seconds. I was like, that's not that bad. And he's like, it's not all the way in yet. And then he shoved it further. I was like, ah! You know, I yelled like one of those Japanese cartoon characters. Nah, he said I was good though. I wasn't that dramatic. Yeah, no, it's all good. So that's a top tenner. I went to the ground. I got in submission. I know they say like everyone's got their own, advice. Some people are like, run outside. That's not what you're supposed to do. They're like, jump off a bit. You're like, no, dude, that's not it. You're supposed to get to the ground. Once again, I'm not a firefighter, clearly. I could probably be one, but I'm sure firefighters do more than me, so I don't want to take that back. I'm sure there's a firefighter watching saying, no, well, you can't be a firefighter. I'm like, you're right, I got to train up. But get to the ground, stay down. Someone said, hello, dude, you're hundreds of miles from the epicenter. No, I know, you're totally right. I'm sure near the epicenter, it's going crazy. We'll look up some videos. We'll try to play some. I know, I'm like, oh, it wasn't that bad. I guess I'm not even that close to it. Very fortunate. Let's see. LA earthquake. Yeah. No, I know. Hopefully, don't run out no, I'm not running. Hopefully, no one died in this one. I just hear ambulances and helicopters though, so obviously it's just going down. It's all good. This last 2 weeks, I'm just rolling the dice. All right. We ate it in Ojai, California. Yeah, I bet it was worse over there. Let's see. It's down to a 6.9. Oh man, I wanted to make history. All right, let's see. I'm looking on Twitter. Still, you can feel it. Sorry, dude. This one will have a lot of damages. Yeah. Well, pray for people who are closer to the epicenter. Damages, we could build it back, but human lives, nah. Get out of the building. I'm not moving. Guys, sorry, I'm going to take a nap. I'm just looking up trying to see if it's bad. We felt it 2 hours above Bakersfield. It rocked the house. I'm only a 3-hour drive. It wasn't that bad here. It was fun. Are you supposed to hide in a doorway during the earthquake? Don't listen to me. I'm not an earthquake expert, I promise you. Come on, man. Swear for me. So happy you're fine. Yeah, I'm all right. It's been a weird week. I'm just hoping I get feeling back in my foot. My foot's still numb. So make sure to say your prayers tonight. Absolutely. See if we got some earthquake videos. Rob Schneider posted one. Let's see. It's okay. It's not that good a one. Let's see. OJ Simpson posted one. Oh no, never mind. OJ Simpson got a Twitter. It's pretty funny. Everyone's like getting so mad at him. They're like, "You murdered your wife." But I was like, guys, just let OJ be OJ for now. Come on, give him a week, and then you can start yelling at him. I think his Twitter's hilarious. So if you don't already follow OJ Simpson on Twitter, he's like, "Guys, I have a story about Michael Jackson," and everyone's like, "I enjoy it." I'm like, let him talk. All right, I'll read some of your comments too. Hope you're feeling better. Yeah, I'm good. My foot's healing for sure. I'm just praying that there's no permanent nerve damage because the part of it's not moving really, but it could be because it's in shock. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I just want to walk again and I want to dunk. As soon as my foot heals, I'm gonna make a dunk video. So I got it on cam. Diane said my daughter in Palmdale got rocked pretty hard. God bless your daughter in Palmdale. Let's see. Want to know. Hope you're suing California for negligence. I'm talking to lawyers because even in my, I don't know if I don't want to get into it, but, the only signature they had was no pedestrians written in white around the spikes, and it's half faded. I have pictures of it. It's not even there, so I'm pretty sure they're going to lose, but, we'll save that for another time. I don't care. I just want my foot back. What did you have done? I just had surgery on my foot. I just had to get stitches and a shot or something. I don't know. I'm fine. The earthquake is dogs shaking off the fleas. No, it's crazy. I just posted on my Instagram. I was talking about the earth and how there's volcanoes under the ice and how that's a reason that the ice is melting and how Greenland's actually growing again. And I was basically just like, if the earth wants to earthquake you, if the earth wants to solar beam you, if it wants to freeze you or heat you, like the ocean, have you ever been in the ocean? Nothing makes you feel small. I remember, not like it was that long ago, I was on a cruise and I had a driver on the island named Fish. And I pointed to my cruise boat and he's like, the ocean will swallow that up in a second. And I was like, for sure, but I didn't want him to say that because I was like, bro, I'm about to get back on that boat. But I get what he was saying. It's like, he's like, you think you're so big and powerful on that boat? I was like, dude, I never said that. But when it comes to the ocean, we ain't shit. Sorry if you have a 4-year-old watching this. I wanted to say shit. Good morning, James O'Rourke. That's Beto's brother. I'm just kidding. You probably heard that a million times now. You're like, gosh darn it. Gosh dang it. Fox News is showing one house burning. Yeah, Fox News is probably like, one house is burning. We must strike Iran immediately. We're like, dude, what? Sean Hannity, what are you talking about, bro? He's like, one house is burning in Southern California from the earthquake. Suspects intelligence communities are saying it was most likely Iran or North Korea. Trump needs to strike them soon or else he's... Don't tell AOC about the quakes. Yeah. Well, no, it's God's way of punishing us for the concentration camp. Arizona felt it? Yeah, I bet. When are you going to run for Congress? Probably never, but I don't know. I might be bored when I'm like 60. Hopefully I make it to that far. Did $1 million worth of... Wouldn't it be crazy if the earthquake happened and all of like the homeless crackheads downtown Los Angeles, it shook and like all of a sudden it turned them into entrepreneurs and they're like, you know what? I think I'm going to stop doing meth and living off the streets and I think I'm going to get a 401k. He's like, yeah, you know what? Doing heroin right by the sidewalk just isn't the same as it used to be living in a tent. I think I'm going to start my own small business. Like, that would be like a magical earthquake that made every homeless crackhead into like an entrepreneur. That would be nice. Too bad Earth doesn't have something like that. It's like every tent, he's like, you know what? Camping on the street with typhoid was fun for a while, but I think I'm going to start my own bakery. Someone said, considering as Fox News said, considering Fox News were the one saying not to hit Iran, specifically Tucker. No, I know. I was just kidding. Tucker's a legend. I've been very strong in that. Tucker's he's a good guy. I like him. Sorry, Tucker doesn't watch my live streams, although apparently some other people are. Thank you. Yeah, you gotta have fun. You know the earthquake was President Trump's fault, right? Said Susan. Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, if you put people in concentration camps, God is gonna punish you. It's the only concentration camp that you run into purposely. You're like, I'm gonna go there. Imagine if that happened in the 1940s. They're like, dude, stop coming here. Like Germany's like, don't come here. Just go somewhere else. And they're like, no, we need to come there. And then they're like, that's not how the history happened. People were streaming at a restaurant. I just kept eating. They set up heroin safes. Yeah, I just read an article about Vancouver. I should find it, but it's like they were like, we have everything. We have free heroin needles. We have drug programs. We have every welfare program under the sun, but opioid deaths keep going up. We're like, well, Rebecca from Vancouver Times, maybe it's because it doesn't work. Your strategy of handing out heroin needles and providing a bunch of services for people only incentivize the problem. Oh, I never thought of that. Wow, it is getting better now that I actually tell people to not be crackheads. It was a 6.9. Yeah, I can't change the title now, guys. I jumped the gun. I gave the top 10, and now they done did me. Let's see. It's a 7.9. I'm looking. He's definitely feeling those pain meds. No, I'm not even on medication. I'm just funny. In times of strife, you just gotta be funny. I'm really not drugged. I'm drinking a kombucha though. Breaking, as predicted, there was another even stronger, so 6.9. Okay, they downgraded it. Whatever, okay, whatever. We didn't make history, fine. Yeah, we're just a bunch of losers. We're a bunch of soft snowflakes, okay? Just hyping up our own earthquake for the clout. I tried to make the top 12. Now we're... Say hi to my cousin Sal, Anomaly. Aaron. Hello, Sal. God bless you guys. It sounds like an Italian name. Okay, so 11, 12. We're top 15, whatever. 6.9, 6.7. Whatever. History's mystery. It's probably all a lie anyway. Kombucha. This is not a paid advertisement. You stay in the house for a week, you'll get a little crazy too. No, I'm always funny, but like sometimes you just gotta tell the news. There's supposed to be more. Yeah, I'm sure. I have a bad feeling about there being more. Like when the other one happened, I was like, because forever they've been telling us we're due. Like I talked to a guy who's like, I studied the ground for 40 years and we're due. I'm like, all right, I get it, my man. And it's been like 5 years, so it's just a matter of time. Hopefully they're not bigger. Uh-oh. Sorry, my hair's a little ratchet. I could use it as an excuse. I could be like, oh, my hair's messed up because my foot's hurt, but low-key my hair's always messed up when I live stream because I'm always doing 50 things. When you're the video producer, the editor, the writer, the filmer, the director, I do everything, so sometimes I don't get to fix my hair up as much as I'd like. So close. Missed it by that much. Hello, everyone from Toronto. Rose from Toronto. God bless. I hope everyone is okay. Peace from Pennsylvania. Alex. Yeah, kombucha. You look healthier than ever. Thank you. I feel good. I'm just hoping my foot heals back to full. I don't want nerve damage, but I talked to my dad, a legend, obviously. But I talked to my dad, and he was like laughing. He was like, that's what getting older is. You start losing stuff, and that is really what getting older is anyway. So even if my foot, hopefully the nerve damage isn't permanently damaged, but that's what you hear, the helicopters. It's getting crazy, but that's what it is, right? You just start losing feeling and stuff. The good news is my back always hurts, and I haven't really felt my back since my foot hurts. So that's another. I think that's like a psychological thing. When there's pain in one thing, you can't feel the other. Now they're saying yesterday's was the foreshock. Sarah said you're so handsome. All right, Sarah, this isn't Tinder. Not now. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you. What happened to my foot? I stepped on a spike, like an 8-inch spike. I don't even want to look at it. It's very traumatizing, but it's okay. I'm definitely gonna sue. Prayers for a speedy recovery. Thank you. Yeah, it's getting better. It hasn't gotten infected yet, so all is good so far. I just don't want permanent damage. But if I do, I'm going to still dunk on the game. I don't care. I'm a Usain Bolt on him. I'll get faster. I will order your kombucha. No, this isn't my kombucha. This is not my company. This is like very mainstream GTS. I do like what they do though on the bottom. Oh, it's out of Beverly Hills. It says like in the ingredients, it says 100% pure love. I don't know if you could see it, but it says that 100% pure love. I wonder if they got sued for that. I could be like, guys, I drank it and I didn't taste the 100% pure love. I need a refund. What's the picture behind you? It's like, sorry. It's like a beachy beach, you know? Nothing to write home about. Don't be a PUSSY. I'm censoring for the apparent 4-year-olds who watch my streams. No, it's wrapped up right now. I'm not going to show you. It's pretty gross. I showed you the spike. I'm surprised it didn't come out the top of my foot. My wife has a bad ankle for 2 years after a Spartan race. He is handsome and very wise. Thank you, Rose. I'm open for compliments all night. I'll milk this earthquake if it brings more compliments. I'll be like, whoa, I'm really scared, guys. I need your love and support. Terry from Ohio, God bless you. Yeah, we're just vibing out. No, I could literally dunk. Or I could before I had a spike go through my foot, but no, not Nerf. Not a Nerf net. I could dunk on a real net. I'm a real boy. I actually I sent out a challenge. I said I'll play any newscaster in one-on-one in basketball. I already beat Fleckas, but we'll play again for the camera. What's his name? Owen Schroyer from InfoWars. He played my song with Carpe Donktum, the meme guy, the guy who makes all the Trump memes. And he was like, Anomaly, I accept your basketball challenge when you come back down to Austin. So if I ever go down to Austin, I'm going to beat Owen Schroyer one-on-one. I told him I'm only playing, though, if Alex Jones announces the game. He needs to announce, like, play-by-play, Alex Jones eating a hamburger, and then we'll do that. And then I also want to go to North Korea and play basketball with Dennis Rodman. And I literally spoke to Dennis Rodman last year in person, and he said, you never know. The doors may open, so I planted that seed. Did you put peroxide on your foot? No, not peroxide, but I've been cleaning it. Don't worry. Well, let's not talk about my foot. I already did a whole depressing video about it. Let's just pretend like it's not there. Do you know the song Enema by Tool? I do not, but a few of my friends really like Tool. How close was the earthquake to LA? Close enough to really shake everything up, but not close enough to... I don't know. I mean, like I said, I haven't left the house barely at all this last week. My TV didn't fall over, but it almost did. That's all I know. Nothing fell over in my house. I was afraid this painting was gonna fall over. It was like, and this is really heavy actually. It doesn't look heavy, but it's a huge painting. It's way bigger than it looks right there. It's probably like, okay. Let's not get too carried away here. It's probably like 3-4 feet wide. 1, 2, 3. It's bigger than it looks. Everyone says, why is it sideways? It's not. I just have to tilt the camera. See if I tilt it. Whoa! I should upload that to Twitter. Whoa! Oh no! That's not the earthquake. Sorry, I'm just doing it for the clout. I'm trying to get some new followers. Follow me on Instagram, Dream Rare. Whoa! Where are all the baddies at? Nah, psych. It's just me and my kombucha. You thought I was getting earthquaked? You silly fool. You look buff. Have you been working out? I've been laying in bed all week. But, you know. No, I haven't even gotten up. I haven't been able to work out. I guess I could do pull-ups or something, but I'm pretty strong. I just, I don't know. I guess I don't really show it off in the videos, you know, as far as I'm tall and long, so it looks like I'm not strong, but then you see me next to someone else and you're like, oh, Anomaly's like a foot taller than them, and, you know, strong and can dunk. And I'm gonna talk myself up now because I can't walk, so I feel bad. What if I can never walk again? Then I'm gonna have to reminisce on the old days that I was out balling on him. Thanks, Sarah. Carlos said you bugging. You know. There's gonna be a LOL aftershock. Yeah, no, I'm definitely milking the aftershock. If it happens live on camera, you best believe I'm milking it to the fullest. I'm gonna probably run away from this. I'm trying to think of my strategy. Get off this couch so this doesn't fall on my head. I'm going in the corner. Maybe I'll leave the camera, and you could watch that shake, or I'll bring it with me for the clout and just be like, guys, follow me on Instagram at Dream Rare. This is crazy, man. Don't you feel like you're here with me, dog? This is like a simulation. Nothing's real. Yeah, no, that's some Anderson Cooper, Brian Stelter. Woo! Woo! Didn't expect that to happen.
The earthquake, okay, is the part of the political revolution. It is the socialists and the communists who went underground in 1945, and they're coming back up to solve the climate, okay? When you pollute carbon fuels into the air, the earth starts to shake. It's basic science. Ask Neil deGrasse Tyson.
You will walk again. You will not have permanent nerves. Speak to your body. It listens. That's right. Someone said I might have permanent damage, and the second that happened, my foot started feeling like this. I was like my foot was like, nah, that ain't it, chief. That ain't it. You guys, I was eating. Let me see if I have any left. Oh, I do. Just so you can see what I'm. This is real. This is real AOC anomaly stuff. I didn't plan this. I got my almond butter. Trader Joe's. Shout out to the homie at Trader Joe's. I went in there, and my man, he does this free samples, and he said, Anomaly, we love, all my friends, we love what you're doing, we love the videos. And I was like, I love Trader Joe's. And we had a moment. And next time I go, I'm going to be like, bro, do you feel that earthquake? I'm eating, it's blueberries and almond butter. Let's talk about climate change, guys. So I'm a communist. There's a concentration camp at the border, even though that's not true. People are drinking out of toilets, and I'm very authentic, Like, you eat blueberries with almond butter? I eat blueberries with almond butter. There's literally no difference between me and you, except I'm a congresswoman, and you're not. That's it. Gotta wash it down. Hold up. Where'd my boots go? Someone said you sound just like Bernie. Yeah. I've been getting better and better with my Bernie impression. Too much almond butter. Hold on. We need an almond butter timeout. Almond butter timeout. Hold on. Yeah, I'm very... I don't think I got any other liquids. We might have to end the stream. Too much almond butter. We might have to end the stream. The earthquake didn't take me out, but this almond butter did. We don't got no water. Too much. I can't walk and there's no water. It's alright, we'll just finish it up. Someone said, California. Yeah, I'll drink out of the toilet. Someone said California eating. I always make fun of hipsters because I am a hipster low key. I mean, I'm always eating. Like for example, I like good coffee. Hipsters, I love hipsters. They make good rave little parties, really good coffee. Hipsters make good garlic aioli sauce with little $15 burgers. Craft beer. I'm not a big beer drinker, but I know they're always like, dude, what's your favorite flavor out of all 5,000 of them? I'm like, dude, there's too many flavors, bro. I don't really care. Obviously, I don't want some trashy, watered down beer, but just give me the stout, give me the IPA, whatever. Dude, we have 15,000 flavors of beer. It's like, dude, your brewery is half the size of my apartment. How do you have 15,000 different beers here? They make good craft beer, garlic aioli sauce, coffee. They're just not good at politics, and it's not my fault. It's I don't know what about making good coffee and good craft brewer. What is it about that just turns your brain off when it comes to politics? I don't know. But all you hipster haters who hate liberals, you're not making garlic aioli sauce. You're not making $15 burgers. You're not making $5 coffee that you don't want to pay for, but low-key you do because it's better than other coffee. Whose fault is that? I don't make the rules. I just talk about it. Someone said, "Oh, I wish you had a butler." No, I've been very blessed. I have a lot of good friends who've been supporting me this week a lot. Shout out Scott. I saw him in there. Scott's a legend, and he's been helping me out a lot. He was there when I was at the hospital too. But nah, people have been bringing me stuff. I've been hopping around. It's all good. My man Mike, who you've seen in my Mike Luso, he brought me something today. I'm lucky. Very, very blessed. Best beer I had was in Germany. Yeah, I believe it. They love beer over there. It's like a little too much over there. They're like, I was going to do a German impression, but I don't think I do a good one. They're like, we let 15-year-olds drink. You're like, all right, well, relax, buddy. Like, I get it. They're like, we'll drink for a month. We'll let 12-year-olds drink. We're like, dude, chill. Hi, Sarah. Drink Yingling. I used to in college. To be honest, I'm not a big drinker. When I go out, I'll drink. Like, I'm not like a non-drinker. You know, I'm not like an old duels guy, or I don't just drink kombucha. But like, I'm either getting hammered, I'll go out, or I'll have like, you know, I don't have an in-between. Like, I don't just drink beer with food and stuff. Like, I'll drink once a week max. And then I'll be like, all right, I'm good on that. But when I go, I go. You know, if that was what the zone is. So I'm not a big drinker. Thank you, Glennis. What happened to you? I've explained it so many times. I stepped on like an 8-inch parking spike strip and it went through my foot, and it's awful, and I can't walk for 2 weeks. The end. Someone feel the quake? Oh, we felt it. Beer is a soft drink in Russia. Yeah, well, it's so cold there. You just gotta get wasted all the time. My buddy's in Russia right now. He's on tour. He's a tour DJ for a rapper. He's out in Mother Russia. Vladimir. All right, that's it. Someone said there's no difference between drinking kombucha and drinking toilet water. That's a solid comment. I don't know who said that, but I like that. That's not true, but it's okay. I appreciate it. Vitali, there you go. Thank you. Robert said, here in Missouri, I felt nothing. I believe it. Dang, I bet that hurt for sure. They tried to deflate you. It's crazy that they have that. I know a lot of people are like, watch where you walk, but you got to understand. Sidewalk, 3 steps, spike, 20 yards, beach, and the only sign they have is literally white that's half faded away that says no pedestrians. No one reads the signs on the ground. Like, it's graffiti everywhere. There's trash, there's tents, there's like white parking spots. You're not like, oh, white paint. Every crosswalk that you walk across is painted with white stripes. So how in the world are they going to beat me in court? Having just one sign on the ground, 2-dimensional, you got to get down on your legs to read it. And it says no pedestrians, but it's half faded away because they're too dumb to even actually have the sign. So I just hope my foot fully heals. Because if I have permanent damage, I'm taking them to the cleaners. Fermented tea brew doctor. Is that you? Were you walking? No, I wasn't walking and texting. No. I'm hyper aware too. I did have to use the bathroom, but I wasn't, like, literally from the sidewalk to where that is, it's like 3, I have really long legs. It's 3 strides for me. So I was just looking up. I jog all the time. Like, I don't know. The way it's positioned, you legitimately really can't see it from where I came from. If you come from the front, you have like 20 steps. I came right by it. I came from a sidewalk. I had 3 steps. I was just probably looking ahead to see what part of the beach I was at. Just 3 steps. 1, 2, and then I looked at my shoe, and there was a hole, and then my foot was pouring blood, and I was like, sheesh, I don't want to bleed out here, and I definitely don't want to lose my foot. You really are. I mean, in general too, I don't know how much power I have, but they don't need to have those there. I'm just saying, people are going to keep getting hurt on those things. When the firefighter came, they were like, oh yeah, this keeps happening to people. Yeah, of course, because you have 20 8-inch knives sitting out of the street right next to the beach. It's not like it's in a parking garage. It's literally right out in the open, right next to the sidewalk. So I would like to get them to take them out, but I don't know. Who put spikes where kids play? This is in Santa Monica, near the most crowded place where people walk. Literally, I mean, that's what I was doing. I was walking to the walk path, like from the street to the walk path. Never hurts to look down. Yeah, but you can't just walk and look down, though. I mean, it's good to be aware, but how many times have you walked across a crosswalk? Have you ever looked to be like, oh, what does that white stripe mean? It's like, no, the whole crosswalk is white. You got to look for cars, you know, like make sure you don't get hit by a car. You can't, if you look down, you're going to get killed. I almost got hit twice. If I wasn't paying attention, 2 people were trying to make a left turn when I had the green and they didn't know. I'm always paying attention. No, I got pictures. I'm on it, guys. I'm on it. Trust me. Has the property? No, they're not. This has happened so many times. That's what the firefighters told me. They said this has happened a lot. I was like, obviously. What about at night? This was during the day. At night, you guys would be sick if you knew how close they were to the beach and also right next to the sidewalk. It's not like it's this off, like I was in a parking garage. It's literally right next to where hundreds of thousands of people walk back and forth every single day. It's awful. All right, yeah, we're off the foot. Someone said, normally you say you don't want to talk about the foot, but you keep answering questions about the foot. All right, foot over. Let's talk about NASA so we could lose about 100 more people in the live stream. I posted earlier. You guys saw my last post. It was CNN. It was like, NASA says that it has the guy who has the original moon landing tape was going to sell it for 20 million. And then Reuters said 10 years ago, they were like, NASA says it taped over the tapes. I literally posted NASA and this is my favorite thing to rant about it because it's so funny. I post what NASA says. I post what CNN and Reuters say. And then people say, oh, Anomaly's 1 foot away from being crazy. I posted CNN and Reuters. I didn't make this story up. First they said, I don't care if you think we went to the moon or not. I have my own opinion. You could ask me about it. It's not going to be popular. They said that they lost the tape. They lost it and taped over it. They were like, well, guys, they get $24 billion a year or something like that. You think they don't have enough money for blank tapes? I can afford blank. I could probably afford as much blank tapes as they needed. Literally. I could do it. You don't think NASA has the money for, we taped over it. And then 10 years later in CNN, they're like, oh, no, we found it. So, did you tape over it? Did you lose it? Did some guy get it at a garage sale? It's so obviously a lie. It's hilarious. And then I say that and people are like, dude, Anomaly, you're crazy. I didn't say it. This is NASA. There's a video of NASA, Don Pettit. He's like, well, he's the oldest living engineer. He's like, well, we'd go back to the moon in a nanosecond if we could, but we lost the technology. I mean, we had it, but we destroyed it, and it's a painful process to build back again. Oh, of course, yeah, totally. I'm sorry for bringing that up. Yeah, in 1969, we had the radical technology to go to the moon, but then we destroyed it, and we can't build it back even though we didn't have cell phones or the computing technology. Literally, this is probably stronger than every computer on the planet in 1969. But, they went to the moon on basically having no computing power. Can't go back now because they destroyed it. Anomaly, that's what he said. I'm just putting the pieces together. It's it's literally hilarious. I think it's the funniest thing. Dude, what do you could? I have the video. The dude is like, we had it in 1969. Could you imagine like any industry be like Orville Wright? Be like, dude, how do we fly again? How do we make planes again? He's like, well, we did it back then, but we destroyed our way of doing it, and it's too hard to put it back again. So we'll just keep changing the story about what happened in 1969. Dude, Buzz Aldrin is so full of crap. I love Buzz Aldrin though, because it's like, dude, it's so funny. Like Trump is like, we're building a space force, and Buzz is like, wait. He's like, yo, this boy crazy. He thinks we're really going back, and Trump legit thinks we're going back. It's so funny. We'll see though. We'll see what happens. Like Buzz Aldrin, he hasn't even been to In-N-Out. I don't think he's been to the moon, but to each their own. That's what nuclear power is for. Yeah, we'll see about that. Did we go to the moon? Guys, I don't know. I made a video that went viral like 2 years ago. It's got like 9 million views. And in hindsight, it's pretty funny. I had like NASA, like people would email me and be like, my grandmother worked for NASA and I was like, what I'm saying now is more radical than what I said in that video. I literally just played clips of mainstream media and NASA, and I was like, that's what they said. What do you think? Like, that's all I did. And they're like, I'm so mad that, I'm like, that's probably your grandma in the video. I didn't say it. And then I had Department of Defense, people who work for the Department of Defense, like commenting all angry on her. Anomaly, how dare you say what people in my industry. I'm like, guys, leave me alone. I get it. My videos got a lot of views. Congratulations, you rigged YouTube now. I get it. You did what you want to do. They're like, we can't let people like Anomaly get famous, so we're just going to rig YouTube. But the irony is, I'm looking at music artists, like rap artists that are hating on Trump and doing all these little gimmicky Trump hating things. And on Instagram, they have more followers, but they have less comments, less likes, less engagement. Nobody cares. It's like I'm doing 20 times the numbers that these people, they have $1 million contracts. They're signed to, all these big labels. They got all these money. They got PR teams, managers, they got booking agents, and no one cares. So, and I'm just sitting here talking about NASA and 9 million people watch it. It's not my fault. Let me see it. My neighbors used to work for the FBI. I'm sure they got some good stories. Someone said you look hot. Thanks, guys. I need to hear that today because I haven't been out of the house for a week, so I'm looking for vain compliments. This way, when I hit the club, my my confidence level is gonna be on 1 million. Is the Earth flat or round? We don't want to go there today, Brian. I don't want to lose half my audience. No. To me, I don't even weigh in on that, but I do say that my advice, if there's any flat earthers watching, my advice is rebrand. Flat earth sounds silly. Rebrand to dome earth. You get what I'm saying? That's the realest thing I could tell you is you need a rebranding. Because if you say dome earth, people start listening a little more, but if you say flat earth, it just sounds stupid. That's all I'm going to say on that. Let's see what we got. Wait, you aren't deleted from Facebook? No, I just got banned for 5 days. Will Elon Musk take us to the moon? I love Elon Musk. Elon Musk is hilarious. He's a troll. But no, I don't think he's going to take us there. Guys, we went in 1969. They have a budget of $25 billion a year. They don't know what to do. They're literally just measuring ice in Antarctica. And then they're admitting they're like, we have $24 billion, we're measuring ice, but we can't measure all the ice, we can't measure the snowfall at all. It's growing in some parts, it's melting in some parts, but we're gonna, collaborate with MSNBC to freak people out. Is global warming causing earthquakes? No. Let's talk about the moon? No. I mean, yeah, we were talking about the moon, sorry. What do you feel is your mission in life? To go to North Korea and play basketball with Dennis Rodman. No, I don't know. I want to enjoy life. I want to have fun. I want to obviously not be a horrible person, but overall, I'm very, very fortunate. I feel like I've done a lot, and I'm pretty young. I'm old to some people's standards, but at this point, I just want to have a good time and not sell out, not be a liar, not become dishonest. So I want to just vibe out. Really, I've accomplished a lot. But keep it moving. I can't just sit on my trophies that don't exist. Isn't Israel going to the moon, arriving in a few days or something? I mean, China said they went to the dark side of the moon. I'm sure Israel says they're going to the moon. I don't know. I don't think we went, but I get the whole game of could every country be lying? I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I just using my brain and looking at the moon and listening to the stories. I personally, and this is not, I know some people hear this and are like, well, this discredits everything you say. I don't think we can go to the moon. I don't think we have gone to the moon, and I'm not even convinced that the moon is something you can even land on. I'm not convinced of that. But do I think the moon is artificial? I don't know about that. I personally, my instinct, my gut, and also research that I've done, I think that the moon is a light source. I I'm not convinced that the moon is reflecting light from the sun. I get it. People are going to freak out and say I'm not a scientist, but I think the moon is its own energy source, a different kind of energy than the sun. When you go in the sunlight, you know, it's good for your body. You get vitamin D, it burns your skin, it heats up stuff. It's energy. We can use it for solar energy. I think the moon is a lighter kind of energy. But at any point, anybody can disprove me. I mean, if we can go in 1969 with no computers, I'm sure Trump can get us back. Did you guys see China's footage of the moon landing? Yeah, it's laughable. It's laughable. The picture, dude, NASA gets paid $24 billion a year, and then they're like, guys, look, we got a picture of the black hole. And it's like, I can make it on Photoshop in 5 seconds. It's like, just smear a bunch of orange on a black canvas. No disrespect, though. I'm sure it's real. The moon is a satellite. Someone said that. I mean, I'm not sure about that, but I think it's possible. Didn't NASA use Nazis? All right, this is the realest thing. I said this on a podcast. Maybe I'll upload it to Facebook so I can get banned permanently. But not only was the moon hold on, I don't want to get ratchet on here. I'm feeling a little pasty. Not only was the moon program founded by a Nazi, Werner von Braun, absolutely, but Nazis, when we defeated Nazi Germany, I'm going to put it in quotations because the story doesn't really add up. 1,600 Nazi scientists, leaders of the Nazi Party, they came to the United States, 1,600, and worked directly in the U.S. government. 1,600, guys. And people are saying to me, well, you know, the war ended, we wanted to take their best people. Imagine if the war with ISIS ended and we took 1,600 of their people, their leaders, their best scientists, and brought them not only to the United States, but to work in the U.S. government. So that seems like a pretty big part of the story that no history teachers teach, Operation Paperclip, where 1,600 Nazis came over to the U.S. and took high-level government positions, including the space program. I don't know. To me, that was like, whoa. And that's not a conspiracy theory. It's on Wikipedia. It's mainstream news. But I don't get the theory of like, oh no, we just wanted to take their best guys. It's 1,600. And they didn't just come to the U.S. They came immediately and took government positions. I don't know what's going on. I can just laugh at certain things and point certain things out. And that's what I do. People think I'm dumb because I don't show all my cards all the time. Because at the end of the day, you know, I don't know if it was Socrates or Aristotle. I think it was Socrates who said, you know, all I know is I know nothing. And that's true wisdom, is understanding what you do know and understanding that you might not know as much as you think. So that's why when I present certain things sometimes, people think I'm stupid or I'm like, oh, Anomaly doesn't really do anything. But like, that's what I'm good at, is like, I'm not doing it for myself. I know enough, I've watched enough, but at the same time, how much do I really know about the moon, about the earth? I know enough to know I don't know. And a lot of scientists are like, I know everything about Antarctica. Please, you haven't even measured 1/1,000,000th of Antarctica and they act like they know the whole thing. But if you could show people that, like in certain videos, I've had, you know, thousands of people come up to me and be like, I used to be super far this way, and then I realized this. I'm just trying to plant seeds, and then you can figure it out for yourself. So if you see, you know, certain things that I put for you that they said themselves, I don't need to tell people what I think, you know, because one, what I think doesn't really matter. My opinions don't really matter. People always say, I love your opinions. And I say this, opinions don't matter. And then they'll say, well, isn't that all you do is give opinions? No, I tell the truth. I tell facts. Sometimes I give my opinion, but my opinion doesn't really matter. What matters is how authentic my opinion is. If it's not authentic, it's the truth and the authenticity in my opinion that matters. If it's overly opinionated and I say something and there's not that much truth in there, then it literally doesn't matter. So it's not the opinion that ever matters. It's just when I give my opinion, I try to balance it out and be honest about it. But that's what I do with a lot of videos. It's like, once you see this, now you can figure the rest out yourself. And I don't know. I don't know if we went to the moon. I don't know if, I don't know what it is, but I know enough to know that what they say is obviously either a lie or it's covered, like, I'm not stupid. It's like if you tell me, you know, go get the goldfish in the corner and it's not there and then it's in the other corner. Like, I'm smart enough to be like, all right, well, you lied about that. It's over there. That's pretty much what they do with everything. And then they're like, how dare you question us? It's like, like CNN, MSNBC, Reuters, it's harder to figure out what they're telling the truth about than what they aren't. But thank you, Lita. Why were you banned from Facebook? I explained it in a video. I have another channel, World Cloud, that I'm not sure, but I think it might be permanently demonetized now. I uploaded a video of Dr. Drew talking about homelessness in Los Angeles. I played it for 1 minute and 10 seconds, and then I edited Gavin Newsom talking, and then I put the clip in Gavin Newsom talking. So I did manipulate the video, but they determined that it was a copyright strike. I didn't own it, and it was what's their name, Sinclair Broadcasting Group. So they took the video down. They demonetized my entire World Cloud channel without any warning or anything, and then they banned my entire page that runs those pages, my personal page. So I was down for 3 days, but they didn't start the timer the first 2 days, so it ended up being 5 days. So I emailed them, and I'm like, guys, I'm bringing hundreds of supporters, if not thousands eventually. Are you going to ban me for 5 days, or is there going to be a conversation? Are we going to act like, because in ad revenue, I mean, obviously Facebook has billions of dollars, so they don't care, but I'm one of the bigger users. I mean, between my 2 pages, I get literally 1 to 2 million views a week on both of them, easily, every week, like, hundreds of thousands of shares a day. So I'm like, do you not care about me? Is this how we're going to act? But it is what it is. Did Facebook finally pay you? They did, and then I went to the beach to celebrate, and then I stepped on the freaking spike. That's why I went to the beach. I got my bank account, got the Facebook money in the morning, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna go to the beach by myself and just vibe out and have a good day. And then I stepped on a spike. So that's a lesson. I wanted that Facebook money so bad because they were withholding a lot of money from me, and it was like 2 weeks, and I needed it. And then I got it, and then I stepped on a freaking spike. So talk about a big fail. That was like really not what I wanted, but it's okay. Now I don't care about the money at all. I'm like, although it is good to have, because I didn't want to go into my savings. Did I get paid for what? For Facebook I did, not my foot. Buffalo, New York. What's up, Troy? All right, I'm gonna just go back for a second so I can put my foot up. Recap of the premise here. I don't know what you're talking about. Battery's gonna die? My battery or your battery? I was censored today for posting a Hitler quote. Yeah, it's so weird what they're doing with Hitler, because they're trying to expunge him out of existence, where it's like, that's literally what Hitler would do. They're trying to stop Hitler by literally being Hitler. So it's like, you can't post a quote of him so you realize that other people are like him. They're covering up the fact that their agenda is strikingly similar to his. They're censoring every people. They don't even let historians talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. And I've always wanted to say something. I'll just say it now. But I've hesitated on saying it because I know that this is like a future thing that they would take out of context. But for the first time in my life, because I don't remember school, I watched Hitler speaking on YouTube. It's probably taken down now. And he was like screaming. First of all, my first thought was like, well, he's not really saying much. He just had a bunch of like talking points in the video I saw. But I was like, he has a lot of energy. Obviously the guy's awful. I'm not a fan at all. But he was super amped up. And you look at like Jeb Bush and all these, even Trump, like Trump's a good speaker, but like, dude, Hitler was jacked up. Like he was super pumped about it. You listen to, I'm like, dude, there's no energy today. I don't want them to be like him. But if I ever said that, they'd be like, oh my, no, I don't like Hitler. I don't like, that Germany. I don't like the Nazis. I'm just saying, historically, I could see why he gained a lot of momentum, because he had a lot of energy as a public speaker. But, now you can't even look at that. They just delete him, and then you can't talk about it. You can't weigh in on it. It's just like, it doesn't exist. So I watched it like a year or two ago. But someone said just wanted to stay on topic. Yeah, I'm off topic. But I figured I'd say it now while they're deleting everything out of existence, where it's like, that's my biggest beef with how they talk about World War II too, because I'm no historian buff, but if you don't properly identify what happened, you're not going to be able to stop it again. So history always repeats itself. Now the people who act the most like Hitler, now the people who are the most censoring and the most intolerant to certain groups, they're acting like him, but they won't let you watch him or talk about it or say anything about it. It's like him really bad, me really good, you really bad like Hitler, and you're not allowed to see what he actually said. So it's like, it's getting really weird. Someone said he was on meth. Of course he was tweaking. That would explain for his very high energy. All I'm saying is, even with history, is something really weirds me out. I'll use a better example so I don't get framed out of context in the future. You read a Booker T. Washington, and I'm reading him and I'm thinking, wow, Booker T's smarter and more articulate than almost every politician nowadays. I feel like we almost devolved. Like, how do you go 100 years from Booker T. Washington and you have like Harry Truman, let's drop bomb. Like, I have a president book of the quotes. They got dumber over time. And we've gotten dumber. So it's like, politicians, I don't want them to act like someone else. However, I am astounded by how awful politicians are. People are like, I can't believe Trump won. Of course he won. Look at his competition. You know what I'm saying? Trump is very authentic. Trump is very fun, good energy. He's funny. Obama, I didn't like the guy, but he's very witty, very quick to be able to spin things. Very humorous in many ways. Obama was. These other people suck. Like, you watch an old clip and you're like, dude, I don't agree with anything he's saying, but I respect the fact that he has more energy than these, low IQ, like Eric Swalwell. Like, how did we go from Booker T. Washington to Eric Swalwell? Well, let's take the guns away, and then we'll see a sunny day. And, no one claps. And I'm just like, low key, and I'm not trying to be rude because I understand, no disrespect to people with actual mental illnesses, but I almost think that Eric Swalwell has Asperger's. I think he has Asperger's, or his IQ is 12, or both. And I'm not being mean. I'm just like it's great that he's running and, paving the way, but how did we go from these people to not, to this? It's like there's a huge disconnect, and that's my biggest beef with liberalism today, is that it doesn't breed strength. I don't care if you're 800 pounds. It doesn't affect me. I don't care, but I don't want to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you do that. But nowadays they're like, that's good. What you're doing is bad. Being smart and strong and articulate and fair and accurate and honest is bad. Being stupid and racist and low IQ and talking about killing people, that's cool. So it's like they're socially engineering Facebook, Google, Twitter. If you look at all these companies, they're socially engineering stupid people, and they've been doing it for a long time. I even noticed when I was 15, I was like, all these celebrities are really dumb. So it's like we're getting dumber and dumber and dumber, and then I point it out and they act like I'm Hitler when they're literally Hitler. They're like, we're going to censor you. We're going to, you could read his agenda. I think someone did it. They put Hitler's agenda, literally his entire manifesto agenda. They changed it from a feminist point of view, and they tried to get it peer-reviewed at an academic scholarship or whatever, or peer-reviewed for the gold standard or whatever, and they came back and said it's good, but it's not extreme enough. So all you have to do to Hitler's manifesto is change it to a feminist perspective, and then these psychopaths in academia say, that's perfect, just make it more extreme. That they're literally probably more racist than most people in World War II. And I'm not saying that as it's just true. And then if you say that, you're the crazy one. It's okay. Someone said I miss John Wayne. Before my time, I didn't know enough about that. Good night, Joe. Appreciate you for being here, Joe. And I always appreciate you. You're a legend. Swalwell won't make the second round of the debates. Dude, he legitimately probably has Asperger's. And I'm not even, I know I have friends that have Asperger's. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just it's just I'm not trying to be mean, but if you're the president of the United States, I don't care even if you have Asperger's, if you're a really good leader, but if you think you're going to take all these guns away in the United States of America, I'm sorry. The dude is out of his mind. Did I buy Jim Acosta's book? It's 50% off. Oh yeah, I bought 100 of them. They're getting shipped. I'm gonna read them all. I'm gonna cover my whole living room floor with the Jim Acosta books. Yeah, he's really, really insightful. I wonder, you gotta wonder, with people like Jim Acosta, if they believe themselves or if they know that they're completely full of crap. Do you think Jim Acosta goes home and takes off his tie and looks in the mirror and thinks, man, you're really fighting the good fight here? Or do you think Jim Acosta like gets home, takes his tie off, looks in the mirror, and it's like, you're a real piece of shit, Jim. You're a real rat. Like, I don't know. Half of me thinks he comes home, looks in the mirror, and knows what a liar he is. Other half of me thinks he's like, he like literally is like, Gulp. I don't know. These are things that you just don't really know. Boyle Heights, what's up, Alex?
Boyle Heights, stand up. Chip, Boyle Heights.
Got you. No, Trump is the best. I have friends that don't like Trump, but at this point, it's just like, obviously, he's 1,000 times better than any other politician. No one even in the Republican Party even comes close to him. Like, Ted Cruz is acting cool now only because Trump acted. Ted Cruz is never that cool until Trump started being cool, and then Ted Cruz like, yeah, what's up, dog? Like, Trump is so much better. It's not even funny. I don't like anyone even remotely as close as him. I can't help it. It's like everything. He acts like me in a way where, like, he definitely has a good personality and a lot of energy, but he's very reasonable. Like, you listen to his interviews, he's like who you want to lead. And everyone else is like who you don't trust, who you should never give your money to, who you should never donate to, who you should... Like, these people... It's really sad what politicians do. Like, I put up... First of all, I make probably 1/100th of what politicians make, and I actually have a service. I post videos, informative videos. I've probably done 100 times more work than they've done. They literally take millions of dollars in donations to go around the country and lie to people. Like, people knock me sometimes, like, Anomaly, why do you... Because none of the tech companies want me to make money. They ban me every day. Google, defunds me. They kick you off of Square and PayPal sometimes, a lot of my friends. And I'm actually providing value and providing a service, and it's optional. You don't have to do... These people aren't doing it. Like Eric Swalwell or even like Tulsi Gabbard, or no offense, but it's like there's certain things that they're kind of doing, but at the end of the day, it's like they're talking, they're building their brand, and then they're losing. It's you should never really donate to a politician, except for Trump. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, I really, not only, I didn't trust him at the beginning, but the dude really came through, and that's why he's just really gaining momentum. Yeah, no, he could not do anything else, and it's like running circles. Every week he does like 7 things that they try to cover up. It's ridiculous. Like, and then he just nominates someone to the Federal Reserve Board that wants to go back to the gold standard. It's awesome. Prayers for Julian Assange and prayers to you truth tellers. We need you. Absolutely, yeah. God bless Julian. I hope he's healthy. I could see Dan Crenshaw as a candidate in 2024. I don't trust Dan Crenshaw. I like him. I promote him on my page sometimes. I could have met him a month ago, but I was busy. But overall, yeah, I wouldn't want Dan Crenshaw to be president. He's like a Shapiro to me. I trust him. Like, if Shapiro ran for senator of California or governor, I would love that. Crenshaw, he's obviously better than a Democrat, but I don't trust it. I don't trust Crenshaw. He's his foreign policy is pretty shifty. I don't trust him. Trump is... That's what I'm telling... Like, Crenshaw's cool because he could talk about the border sometimes. And he's like, the border situation's messed up. And, like, he's very rational. But, like, none of these people are even close to Trump. Like, Trump is the best. He gets it. He understands both sides. He doesn't take the bait. Crenshaw is a little shiesty. I don't trust him. And no disrespect. I'm not trying to hate. I'm just like... I like him probably 1/100th as much as I like Trump. Where's Ruth Gator Ginsburg? She's running gold medal at the Olympics. You didn't see her? She got gold medal. She's playing with the women's soccer team. She's leading scorer. Someone said Trump is pushing drug prices to be lower. Yeah, no, I got to look more into that. I just saw that today on Twitter. I got to actually research it, but he'll get drug prices down, but not by giving it all to the government.
Bernie's like, we're going to make the drugs cheaper by stealing your tax money and giving the whole health industry to the government. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
It's like, no, Bernie, it's not going to work like that. Trump is like, I'm going to get him down by Trump is just so much better than everyone. And it's not people are, normally all you do is talk about Trump. It's not my fault. He's better than everybody. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. It's like, it's like people getting mad. It's like one player's hitting 10,000 home runs, the other player's taking the ball, taking a bite out of it, and like throwing it in your popcorn. Like there's no competition. No one's even close. It's not my fault. Like I could lie if that would make people feel good. They'd be like, well, you know, climate change is coming in 5 years, and giving all of your money, taxes, and power and health to the federal government will somehow make the federal government less corrupt. I could lie. I could sit here and lie like progressives because they're too ideologically attached to that. I could do that if it made people feel better. Normally, you're not balanced enough. Okay, here, let me lie to you guys. Take all your taxes, give them to Bernie. Take the health industry, give it to the federal government. Say nothing about censorship. Be completely weak and pathetic, and see what happens. Yeah, for sure. It's all a lie. I don't know. He needs to lock her up. I'm over her. I don't even think about her anymore. But I mean, we'll see what he wants to do. I want to see Trey Gowdy step up to the plate. Yeah, a lot of people like Trey Gowdy. I don't know anything about him. I'm stretching. What time is it, guys? Do you know? Stay for like 10 more minutes or so. This was fun. Thank you, guys. I figured I'd take the earthquake as a little play to do some history and then also just have fun for a little bit. Oof, my foot. I've read at night. Trust Bernie in the gut. I'm reading the comments. Well, I'll answer a few questions or any funny things you guys say, and then we'll roll out. If you guys don't do anything and you're still here, if you've been here a while, you probably already know, but sign up to my free email list because I'm working on doing an event in Los Angeles. I'm not going to tell you the name yet. I'm really excited. It's going to be unique and different and entertaining, very entertaining. I'm so excited, and if it goes well, I'll take it to Texas. I'll take it to, Florida. I'll take it to the East Coast. I'll take it to Middle America, as MSNBC and CNN would say. Middle America loves Trump. They think everybody in Middle America is just like hillbilly rednecks. They're like, Trump won because of the people we can't reach. It's like, no, you suck. And Trump talked to actual people. You get what I'm saying. I'm just joking. I think the comments are delayed. You don't give Crenshaw enough credit. No, I give him credit. He's just like a Ben Shapiro. He's just like, he's a little shifty. That's all I'm gonna say. He's wrong about Iran. He's wrong about Syria. He disagrees with Trump at every turn when he thinks it's trendy and cool, but he's actually just dumber than Trump. No disrespect, but he's the one going out there, Trump, I don't agree. It's like, dude, you don't know. He told Trump not to do the tariffs in Mexico. He was wrong. He's like, Trump, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm Dan Crenshaw. I'm better than you. I don't mind if people disagree with Trump at all. I'm not like a lackey where I'm like, no, you have, but if you disagree with Trump acting like you're better and then you're wrong, it just looks stupid. And he doesn't come with like, maybe do this or, like when I talk about Trump and Iran, I'm saying, Trump, strike a deal. These people are lying to you. But the difference is Trump knows that. When you see him in an interview, he says that. He's like, I got some Warhawks, I got some Doves, I got like Trump knows the drill. When Crenshaw comes around, he's like, I know what I'm doing in Mexico. Trump, you're wrong. And then Trump literally does exactly what Dan Crenshaw tells him not to do. He was wrong about that. His foreign policy is miserable. He's not Trump is America first. I'm not really. Dan Crenshaw's like, he's good with border security. He's good with Texas, but he's like Ted Cruz. He'll sign this BS like anti-Semitism stuff. They all collaborate, and I like DeSantis too in Florida. Even Trump though, they're a little wacky and dishonest when it comes to a few things. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not trying to hate on Crenshaw. I think he's awesome. I've complimented him and shared a lot of his videos and showed how cool he is on certain issues. But I would not like. People are like, Crenshaw 2024, Nikki Haley 2024. No, I'm not on that train. I do not want Nikki Haley to be president. I do not want Dan Crenshaw to be president. I do not want Ben Shapiro to be president. They do great at what they do, but there's a big difference between Trump and Dan Crenshaw. It's not like here and here. It's like Trump, Crenshaw. It's like Trump, Crenshaw, like Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, Tulsi Gabbard sometimes, and everybody else at the bottom. There's like 7 people that are passable, but even those people, like I like Rand Paul a lot, But like even like still Trump is just a little bit better. I like Rand Paul actually better than I like Crenshaw. Crenshaw's like a Shapiro. He's really good on domestic issues, but just don't trust him with like tariffs or domestic stuff. Like he's always, it's not just that he's wrong, but I just don't like I don't like his whole like, Trump, you're like, I wag my finger at you now. You are not as sensible as me, Dan Crenshaw. And it's like, he's usually not even right. Yeah, you guys get it. Some of you do. Some of you don't. It's okay. I'm not trying to be mean. Who do I trust as president? Who do I trust as president besides Trump? Nobody. Rand Paul. Rand Paul would like shut down the Fed. I'm not hating. I'm just being honest. Yeah, no, Crenshaw's great. Like I said, it's like Trump and Crenshaw's in that next group of like people that are very impressive and on the come up. He just got there. He's doing awesome. Like when people say them for president or Nikki Haley for president, I'm like, whoa, slow down. Someone said, who do I trust as much as Trump for president? No one even close. Nobody even comes close. And that's not my fault. Elizabeth Warren, God, no. Yeah, no, it's not, the gap is so enormous. Like now that I've got to see 3 years of what Trump does and what everyone else does, the gap between him and the next person, I would maybe rank Rand Paul like next in my scale of who I like, but Rand Paul, the gap between Trump and Rand Paul is so enormous. I would much rather have Trump. Yeah, it's not going to get better. Like I hope it does, but I don't know. I've got to see him execute for 4 years, and you listen to him, he's so reasonable. It's such a lie that he's not. Like he'll listen to John Bolton and everyone will be like, oh my God, Trump has John Bolton in his thing. He's going to start a war. And he never does. And then he has Tucker Carlson, who's the opposite of John Bolton. That's because Trump wants to hear everybody. Like Trump will listen to John Bolton. He'll be like, start a war with Iran. Dan Crenshaw and Ben Shapiro, start a war with Iran. And then, Tucker will be like, don't start a war with Iran. And Trump will be like, you know what? I'm not going to start a war, but I get what you're saying. They probably shouldn't have nukes. Like he always plays the middle so well. And no one else really does that. Even with tariffs, all these people, this is why I'm not trying to be mean or I'm not a hater, but Shapiro and Crenshaw were so condescending in their critiques of like how Trump shouldn't do what he did to Mexico. What Trump did, no one else would have done. He's leagues above them. He threatened them with something that he never even did and got them to do something for free. So as Shapiro and Crenshaw are like condescendingly like, Trump, I'm wagging my finger at you. You are not as reasonable as I. You are crazy. And then Trump does this. He not only gets them to stop doing the immigration thing, like he does 5 things at once. They stop human trafficking. They freeze the accounts of human traffickers. They actually start doing stuff about no one talks about that. And then they move on to the next thing because they don't want to admit they're wrong. So that's why I'm a little iffy about them. Someone said Akon and Young Jeezy 2024. Facts. Kanye, Akon, Young Jeezy. That was an awful Akon. Young Jeezy. Sounded like Kids Bop version, but you get it. Yeah, I don't like anyone as much as Trump. Sorry. Ivanka or Don Jr.? Not Ivanka. No offense. I like Ivanka, but Don Jr. is he's definitely got the Pops energy. I think Don Jr. can do some damage for sure. Yeah, he's pretty funny, man. Don's funny, and he's like a mini Trump. We'll see. Iran held our embassy hostage for a year. They've been assholes. No, Trump. I trust Trump. Even when I say my thing about Iran, here's the difference between me and other analysts. I know I'm a sideline player. You get what I'm saying? Every other analyst, they wag their finger. When I talk about Trump and Iran, I don't say, Trump, you don't know what you're doing, and I am the smart. I'll always weigh out all the options, and I'll always be like, you know what? I trust it. I'm just saying what I'm saying, So that's the thing. Trump knows what Iran's doing. Trump knows what Israel's doing. Trump knows what Saudi Arabia's doing. He gets the whole dynamic, and at the end of the day, there's tough decisions to be made. Because, of course, John Bolton is probably lying, and he wants a war for his own selfish purposes, and so does probably Israel and Saudi Arabia and Ben Shapiro and Dan Crenshaw. But there's also an element of truth there where there's reasons that they don't like, Iran. So I trust Trump at the end of the day. And I think even now, he hasn't done anything. What I was saying is you saw Great Britain seized an oil tanker. What's it called? Israel shot, I'm about to say some real shit, so you guys gotta listen. Israel shot down some planes or something, or shot some targets in Syria. Do you notice how this is a trap to get to the United States to start a war? So if Trump doesn't do anything, we get a drone struck down, and they're acting like we're about to start a war. Imagine if we did what Israel did and shot down planes. Imagine if we did what Britain did and we seized an oil tanker. Could you imagine the mainstream media? Trump starting a war. He seized an oil tanker. He's starting a war. Oh my God, he shot down Syrian targets. He's starting a war. How come when Great Britain does that, and how come when Israel does that, the media doesn't scream war? It's because probably Britain and Israel, among other people, are behind a lot of that push to frame and make it America's war. So I'm not saying Iran's perfect, but we're dealing with Iran already. Britain's dealing with Iran already. Israel's dealing with Iran, and they don't care what we do. They have their own agenda, as they should, because they're really close to Iran. It's nothing like our relationship with American Iran. It's a whole different dynamic, and I'm not hating on that. But overall, when they do that, why don't they scream war? You get what I'm saying? So I'd much rather, if Great Britain and Israel want to do that, and then if we have to step in, that's fine. But it almost seems like the media is trying to make it Trump's war and America's war. And I don't understand when other countries do this crap, they don't get the media, they don't get the World War III press. They've already done more bullish stuff towards Iran than we have, but we get blamed for everything. So that's why I think I would much rather Trump sit out a little bit, let Israel strike them. Let Britain take their tanks. We could put sanctions on them, but then cut a deal with them. Or if we won't, then don't. Let other people deal with them. But I'm tired of the U.S. getting billions of dollars taken from us from every other place, just like Trump has from the 70s. We're acting like the military of the world. What are we getting out of it? We get blamed for everything. It gets worse when it's Obama and Bush, and yeah, there's mini war. I get it, and Trump will do what he has to do. I don't want them to do what they did in Libya. I don't want them to do what they did in Afghanistan. I don't want them to do what they did in Iraq. And Trump does have those forces around him, and I think he knows it. In Iraq, they played people. People said the same thing about Iran as they did for Iraq. Well, Saddam Hussein has. Well, Gaddafi has, and they just destroyed it. And that's what caused. If you don't like refugees, that's what caused the refugee crisis. If we didn't attack Iran, if we didn't attack Libya, combined with liberal media, there is no refugee crisis. It was all created. It's a military-industrial refugee complex. The pessimist would say they're purposely doing that. They're killing, getting money, and destroying the world. The optimist would say, well, maybe they're just very, very foolish, and they're doing it for money, and they don't care that it screws everything up. But overall, we can't do that in Iran. But the difference between me and the others is I'm not wagging my finger at Trump. I'm just saying what I'm saying, and I'm sure people are listening, because I've already heard, White House people, they're on Twitter, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook. They know who I am. They listen to Tucker. I've seen Don Jr. share my post before on his Instagram. He didn't know they were mine, because I don't label the posts I make. They're for the world, but things happen quickly, and I'm not knocking any other country, but I with that situation, the Shapiros and Crenshaws are just like thirsty for it, where it's like let's wait it out. We can't have a full-scale war. If people want to play little chess moves, that's fine, but why do we have to do it? Why can't Britain and Israel do it? For now. Rant over. What's your thoughts on North Korea? I love North Korea. I think all semi-jokes aside, I think the media was lying about North Korea for a while. Regardless of what you think of their position there, Kim Jong-un inherited that. He didn't ask to be the son of North Korea, so they're trying to act like he's a crazy dictator. He had to be. He was born and he got the country. I think Kim Jong-un's an awesome guy, and he's trying to figure it out. He's the heir to a dynasty, and he doesn't know what he's doing. Trump did exactly what he should do, talked to him, befriended him. Trump's such a the fact that Trump did that, it's ridiculous. He's such a legend. And the media wants a war. I would feel safe going to North Korea, playing basketball, which I'm going to do eventually. I think it's fine over there. I think the media mass hypes it, and I think the CIA and other, were trying to do a bunch of stuff there. Who knows what the heck was going on. But overall, I think Trump ruined their parade there. They love, I'm not saying they, but you can decide who they is. They feed off of fear. If there's no fear of a nuclear weapon or North Korea or ISIS, they don't have anything. It's like if there's no racism, sexism, xenophobia, people would realize that their platform actually makes no economic sense or mentality, like all of it's a fail. They need that. So when Trump goes in and actually solves problems, he's a pest because they don't want him to solve the problems. They don't want him to fix the Federal Reserve. They don't want him to fix the economy. They don't want unemployment down. They don't want racism to be stopped. They don't want us to have peace in North Korea. They don't want us to strike a deal with Iran. And those are the forces that I'm warning Trump about because they're very real. They don't want him to do any of that crap. And I think he knows, but I also think that Trump likes Iran a lot less than North Korea. Like, I think Trump looks at North Korea like his little goofy friend. He's like, he's like, hey. He's like, hey, buddy, you better not make nukes. And Kim Jong-un's like, okay. But like, I think with Iran, I think Trump doesn't like Iran a little bit more. And I hope he doesn't, maybe because they're more powerful. Maybe because, he's very salty about Obama giving him that deal that he didn't like. Maybe because, Trump really likes Israel. Probably all of them combined. But it's pretty crazy that he's even there doing this stuff. Like he's already solved so many, like what he did in Syria was epic. People don't give him credit. He cut $1 billion CIA funding program. He cut it off and they're like, what are you doing? Once he cut the funding, it was easier to clear out. That funding prevented a lot of, peace from happening. Trump identified that, he cut it, did a few strikes here and there, made everybody happy, pulled out for the most part. They tried to not let him pull out, and now ISIS is completely eradicated from the region. No, Rand Paul couldn't do that. I'm sorry, Tulsi Gabbard couldn't do that. They could talk about it. They can sit on their high horse and say, if I was president, I would do that, but they couldn't do it. No one could. He's a legend. So on that point, I trust him in Iran. He did the unthinkable in North Korea. He did the unthinkable in Syria. He did the unthinkable in our intelligence communities. He did the unthinkable with the media. There's no reason to not trust him. But as somebody who has somewhat little influence, it's also my job, not really, but you get what I'm saying. My intuition tells me to say this stuff and try to get that going. Oh no, for sure. And the whole world, that's the problem. People get mad at me too. Like, I get hit from both sides. People are like, why don't you talk about this? Sometimes people who are very critical of Israel, like some kid hit me up on Instagram today, Anomaly, you never talk about that. We're starting to think you're a... Dude, I talk about it all the time, but they get mad that I don't talk about Israel 24/7. Like, people that are mad at Israel, they think they're like, Israel's corrupt, Israel's bad, they're behind everything. I talk about it much more than a lot of other conservatives, but they want me to talk about it all the day, but that's because in their head, they're like, Israel's behind everything. No, they're doing a lot of stuff. But also, the United States, we have a lot of corruption in the United States, from the intelligence communities to the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. Great Britain is corrupt, and Great Britain is deceptively corrupt. They have a lot of power and influence, but they don't really flex it a lot, but they're behind the scenes a lot. Saudi Arabia is extremely corrupt, and they have a lot of power. Iran is corrupt. That's the difference between me and a lot of people. I don't sit here and progressives and some conservatives think that Iran is like a perfect angel. They're like, no, Iran's a great regime. They're the innocent victim. It's not true. Some people act like the United States is the innocent victim, or Israel's the innocent victim, or UK is that's not true. The truth is not black and white. Oh, China. Someone talked about China. That's another thing. It's like they're like, people think when I talk about communist China that I'm covering up for Israel. I'm like, no, they can coexist. You get what I'm saying? You can't. And then if I talk about that, they'll be like, why don't you talk about communist China? I don't care that much. Overall, it's like my whole life, I'm not going to cry about other countries. Like that sounds like a sad, pathetic life. You know, there's no one oppressing me. There's no country reigning supreme over me, stopping me. I've been allowed to, in this crazy world, have a lot of success, make a lot of influence, do what I love, work independently, create my own schedule. I'm not that mad at anybody. I don't care if it's communist China or the British government or anyone. Overall, yeah, obviously they're very powerful and very, quiet about it. But the point I'm trying to get to is that the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Who has the most influence, who has the most power, who has the most pull, why are they doing it? This is debatable, and I've learned a lot of things over the year where I'm like, whoa, you get a new puzzle piece where you're like, wow, I didn't understand. I didn't think about that as much. And then you see that and you're like, wow, that's a way bigger piece than I thought it was. But then you talk to other people and then they're 50 layers deeper and they're like, dude, what about these secret societies from, and you're like, it's exhausting, where you're like, I get it. There's a lot of countries, there's religions, there's people, there's families, there's, bankers, there's a lot of elements to it. And, I do my best to weave through it. But when people try to act like I'm a phony or a shill just because I won't talk, I talk about what I want to talk about. And I don't repeat myself that much as far as like, certain people are bothered that I don't say the same things like 50 times a day, where I'm like, that's never going to be my thing. I could never weigh in on politics again and talk about health and wellness for the rest of my life. And I'd be pretty happy to do so. It's like, I don't dwell in this land. But the more I learn, I'm like, all right. And then if you learn, if you learn about who's doing what, and then you got to learn why, like, why are they doing that? And a lot of people think, well, they're doing it because but you kind of realize when you look into it deep, some of the people who are doing the worst stuff, they're not even purposely doing it. Some are, but they're just like neurotic and psychotic and just like confused and lost, so it's like a rabbit hole in a rabbit hole, but it gets exhausting where you're just like, I'd rather just focus on stuff that I can, tangible things that I can accomplish and, try to help the big picture. Good night, Rachel. Greg said, you're now rocking with the best. Trump has to negotiate with evil entities doesn't mean he's part of it. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like they're like, why is Trump doing this and that? He's got to. He can't just he's a finesser. He definitely I'm impressed, and I'm not somebody to just I was the person a couple years ago, and this is why I kind of just rolled the dice with Bernie for a little bit. I didn't really understand economics, but I was like, the two-party system's a lie. They're all corrupt. They're all fake. And it was pretty much true. And then I kind of got interested. I was like, wait, this guy might be from the outside. Trump not only said this stuff, like Bernie was a talker, and then his words didn't add up to what he actually did. That was easy for me to just brush from the side. All right, this dude's fake. Trump did the opposite. Trump did more. He does more every week than anyone I've ever seen. Federal Reserve, war, military, calling it all out. Doing stuff about it, like not only just talking about it, bringing it to the mainstream, but then actually solving pieces of it. It's epic. How do you make the world better? Someone said. I'm no wizard, but I think just by, I think self-accountability and self-awareness is underrated. So I think some of the biggest critics and haters, on all sides, left, right, this, that, far right, far left. The thing that if you lack self-accountability and self-awareness, you become what you hate, and I think that's a big problem in the world is a lot of people are, becoming the energy and the type of person that they hate a lot. So I think the first step is to become self-aware, self-accountable, and, do it as much as you can in your personal life, and then, work out from there and plant seeds and be a good person. But I think, there's a lot of people that get to a certain place, but then you could feel their energy and their message start to shift and become kind of what they didn't like, but now on their side. So that's what I think. I think a lot of some of the people who try to make a macro difference don't end up doing the right thing, and that's what I try to focus on. That's why even with my own content, I never you don't see me hate that much. I'll weigh in on people, I'll be like, I don't agree with Crenshaw or Shapiro. But there's a lot of people who hate a lot on other people, but I don't do that because I'm focused on myself and what I'm doing. And you know, as far as like, all right, what am I gonna do? I don't have time to care about. Everyone plays their part. I look for value in other people's, and then I pretty much just leave it there. Burn the place down, said Chris. Yikes. Thank you, Laura. Does anybody know what time it is? I guess I'll look on my computer, because I'm probably gonna wrap this puppy up. Is it 10:10 or no? Did the time change? Let's see. Are we gonna have another earthquake or what? Are we done? It's 10:10. All right, let's take like one or two more questions or yeah, 10:10, we're good. And then I'm gonna wrap it up and rewrap my foot. It's 1 a.m. in Miami. It's 1 a.m. somewhere on the east. So do you think that the Dems get in, they'll try to get rid of the Electoral College? I'm not trying to be mean or partisan or rude, but if the Democrats win, it's gonna get really ugly. Like it's gonna get bad, or there's gonna be a revolution. So I'm not even really worried about it. But overall, the last thing you're gonna have to worry about is the Electoral College. If Democrats win, they're literally out of their minds. From 4 or 8 years ago, what they said, they used like basic common sense and basic national security, which everybody would do on the left or the right, is now not a part of their party. There's nothing there. It's literally civil war, revolution, collapse, like bad. Overall though, the people of this country are great, the core people. So even if they get in, I'm sure it won't go to shit quickly. It might take a while, but I mean, if they're going to try to implement some of the stuff they're doing, I think they picked the wrong country to do it. So I'm not really worried about the Electoral College. If they win, it's going to get really weird really fast. And I don't wish for that to happen. I'm not asking for that to happen. That's just my prediction, is it's not going to work. I mean, the main reason for it too, so I don't get taken out of context, the way that they acted the last 2 years, the media, celebrities, most leftists, I'll say some progressives acted with integrity, and I appreciate them even though I don't agree with their agenda. There's definitely been that, but the way that they acted, they've self-manifested hell for themselves, not only everywhere that they go and implement their ideology, but if they win, after what they did to Trump, after how they treated America, after how they treated me and anybody like me the last 8 years, they're out of their effing minds. If they think that they're just going to smooth sail to socialism or communism, they blew it. If they wanted to implement socialism or communism or this leftism, they have to treat people with respect. And they've treated people horribly the last 2 years. So they have another thing coming. If they think they're just going to win and it's all going to be smooth and Trump's going to go away and the Nazis are going to go away, they're total liars. Nothing they say is going to work. And they've almost manifested a revolution. They're like, is Trump going to leave if he wins? The way they acted, they've almost guaranteed themselves a revolution. If they win, they've almost guaranteed themselves a revolution. Not because of Nazis, not because of the right wing, not because of Trump, simply because of how they themselves have acted towards hundreds of millions of people of this country and how far radical they've gone. They've almost guaranteed that they have 0% chance of ever successfully gaining power back in a normal manner. And I don't wish for that to happen. The transfer of power in America is very, very important. Absolutely. I'm not asking for that to happen, but what they did to Trump was unprecedented, and actions have consequences, and I don't think they fully understand what they did and what they're doing. It's like the media, like CNN, for example. I'm not wishing this on them, but they did what they did. We all told them not to. We all told them to stop. They didn't listen. They freaked out. Now look at their ratings. They're in the toilet bowl. I mean, if they hired me, I'd be the biggest thing on their station. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying how pathetic they are. No one cares. Like they destroyed their whole company. CNN is in the toilet. No one cares about it. It's literally a laughingstock. And they have to block and ban and censor to try to pretend like they're not a laughingstock. They're such unfathomable losers. It's not even funny. I didn't ask them to do that. I didn't ask CNN to do that. I didn't ask them to throw their whole network away. I didn't ask them to throw their credibility away. I didn't ask. They did it themselves, and now they're going to act like it's everyone else's fault. It's the same thing with the Democratic Party. The way that they treated Trump and the way they've acted these last 4 or 5 years, there's no way they're ever going to win. And if they do win, they have the karma of hell coming their way in 50 different ways. And I don't want that to happen. I asked them not to do it. I told them, don't cheat Bernie Sanders. Don't do this. Don't do that. You're going to lose if you cheat out Bernie Sanders. Hillary Clinton's going to lose. Nobody likes her. Don't do that. Don't do that. I said that 8 months before it happened. Please don't do this. They did it. All right, then Trump won. And I was like, you know what? I'll see how it goes. And then me, like a sane, rational, normal person, I was like, all right, Trump did that. You know, I got to give him credit because I love giving people credit. I love being like Marianne Williamson. She's a total kook, but she said something real about the health industry. I'm the first one there to give her credit. Anybody can make fun of Marianne Williamson. It's pretty easy. She's a little, and the Democrats, but it's hard to find but I did that to Trump, and they just kept going down the wrong path. And I was like, you know what? He did that. He did that. I got to give him credit there. Okay, I still don't like that, but he did that. You know what? He did that. He did that. And they just went to hell. They said, that lie, 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 lie. And they doubled on. They doubled on. So their karma is so big. It's unfathomable to think what would happen if they would win again. It's almost like an epic meltdown. They need to totally rebrand and reform, and it's like a demolition of like a building. And if they somehow pull off a win, they have unfathomably horrible karma coming their way. And I pray that God has mercy on their sick, wretched, twisted souls, because I would never act like they've acted, and I would never do what they did, and I don't understand why they keep doing it, but I have no idea what they think is going to happen, but I don't think they understand the way this world works and this country works. So I have no idea what they're going to do. But I hope that I can't even think, like, my favorite person that made the most sense was Howard Schultz, the Starbucks CEO. And he's not even in the race anymore. But somebody like that needs to rebrand that whole party. Someone said the current Pope is the Antichrist. Not a fan of that guy. The Pope, that is. Chris, I'm a fan of Chris. That's my man. All right, one more question we'll roll out. Were you planning to cover Pride before your foot got busted open? Nah, not really. Nah, everyone was doing it, so no. I mean, a lot of people made fun of your cool videos, but nah, I wasn't really planning to do Pride. I didn't really care about it. I was like, nah. Next. Do you like guns? I'm not like the biggest gun fanatic as far as like I'm like obsessed with them, but I've always actually been, even when I leaned left, I've always understood, even when I didn't like both parties, that the great part about guns was against a tyrannical government or an invasion. Behind a blade of grass there's a gun. So I'm not like a big gun super fan, but I'm a big Second Amendment supporter, and I understand why they're there. And I'm planning on training and just getting better and better with firearms, because the more things that happen, the bigger fan I become of guns. So over the last 2 years, I've become a way bigger fan of guns, and I've always been a Second Amendment supporter, even when I was a little left-leaning but out of the loop, because that, to me, that was always kind of common sense. Like, don't just let the police and the government have all the guns. The people need them too. Like, I don't know how that got lost on the left, but yeah, that's my answer. Thank you, Nancy. No, it's literally like, it's thinking about it too much just makes you annoyed. How they're like, Trump's Hitler, but we're gonna take the guns away, and we're gonna censor people, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna, like, they're literally, you get it. I'm gonna hit up my man. I saw Jack Osborne was following me, Ozzy's son. He's following me, and he's commented on a few of my Instagram posts, and it looks like Jack likes guns a lot. I was planning on messaging him and being like, yo, let's go to the gun range with Jack. We'll see if that happens. But I haven't asked him yet, but I thought that would be cool. And then maybe he'd be down. That would be fun. Someone said, why do you need the gun? Here's my thing with guns. Like I said, I'm not a big gun fanatic. Like I'm not like obsessed with guns, and I'm not even with, like I get the philosophy of it. Like, yeah, obviously people could kill other people. You could hurt yourself with it. I get that, but overall, my favorite thing about guns is the fact that Americans have them. Remember when everyone was like, they're going to do martial law? I was never scared of martial law. Even under Obama, I was like, they're not going to do martial law because everyone has guns. You get what I'm saying? It's like the reason that we have guns is, and now in these last 2 years, it's made me a bigger fan in the sense of like, I get why we have them now. I get why they put that in the Constitution. I understand, because if you don't have guns in your country, you just get bitched around, and they go further and further and further and further. And that's how communism can happen. That's how death camps, and there's never going to be concentration camps here because there's way too many guns. You get what I'm saying? And it's naive to not understand the history of the world. America is very rare. 200, you could hate America all you want. Obviously, I'm critical of the food industry, the health industry. But then it's also great in many ways. But you could say what you want about America. You could trash America. But what's more common in history is pillaging, murder, slavery, like war. That's a constant in history. What's very rare is these amazing times that we're able to be like, I hate Donald Trump on my cell phone, or be like, I don't disagree with this tariff deal. Like, I get that. I'm extremely fortunate. I'm soft as hell compared to future generations. And I'm not that soft. I'm not like a weakling loser. But I understand, like, yeah, I'm not a war hero from 1950s. I'm not Ben Franklin, although I heard he was kind of like a pimp on the low. But I didn't have to be. I grew up, my mom loved me, my dad, they took care of me, and they didn't make me, go through anything that crazy or traumatic as far as like, lived a decent life, went to school, didn't do that well, got a job, like things were okay. They could have been harder, they could have been easier at certain times, but overall, I haven't had to deal with like having to go hunt for my own food. That's history. That's what happens. Hitler and Stalin, that's more common than a Trump. Trump is a once in a life. So that's what the Second Amendment is about to me. It's not about even hunting. It's not even about self-protection, although I do agree with that as well, to protect yourself and your own house, to have one thing of defense. But my favorite thing about the Second Amendment is the fact that everyone has them, so that's not even an option. You get what I'm saying? And people in our generation, they think that that's impossible because this generation is so good. There's a saying, I've said it before, good times create weak men create hard times create strong men create good times create weak men. That's where we're at right now. We had really great times, and now we have really weak men. I mean, look at the soy boys, as they call them. It's like these, and I don't care what you want to do. Honestly, I don't care what you do sexually. I don't care if you're not the manliest man. I don't really care. I'm not going to make fun of you. But what I'm saying is we have some very weak men. So with weak men, hard times are almost inevitable. I mean, we can avoid them if we do some amazing innovation, but that's the constant in the world. The fact that people don't even register that, and they're like, gun control, because Eric Swalwell said because of the school shooting. No, that's a blip on the radar of what it's about. They're bigger than that. And if you follow crime statistics in Britain, it's way up because they don't have guns and they're just knives. And now the criminals, you could rob a jewelry store in Great Britain with a machete because they don't have guns. You can't rob a store in Beverly Hills because they'll shoot you. So overall, I'm not a big fan of violence or weapons per se, but I've always been, and especially these last 2 years, nothing about these last 2 years has made me think, oh yeah, guns aren't that good. everything about the last 2 years, like, oh, yeah, this is why. But I already knew this even 8 years ago. This is why we need guns. This is why America has the Second Amendment, to protect from tyrannical psychopaths that always come around throughout history. And the only reason that people can't even fathom that that's a possibility is because they're so weak and pathetic from these amazing times that they don't know that it could happen. But the crazy paradox of it is those weak, pathetic people who want to take the guns away are the people who are going to usher in the times that you need the guns for. So the whole thing is like a weird paradox. The people who hate Hitler the most and call everyone else Hitler, act like Hitler, want to take the guns away, will bring back the Hitlerian hard times. I always say, you think Trump is bad? Trump is the most, you're going to cry. If a liberal wins, you're going to see the far right rise like nothing else. The more you push the radical left, the more the radical right rises. The more people are like, you know what, F it. I do want this to happen. I do want this. I do want you out. I do want this. That's a direct response of the far, far radical left. So then people just fly the other way, and that's when you get hit. It's like a rubber band. Bang, you get smacked. So if you don't want to get smacked, don't fly out to oblivion, rubber banding to the left. And that's what they're doing. I'm like, if you guys don't chill the F out, you're gonna grow the far right enormously. In fact, they've been the biggest promoters. Someone said, I'd rather be shot than chopped up. I'm just reading the comments. They've grown the far right more than anyone has. And not only by their ideology, but they've promoted it. Who was there at Charlottesville? Vice. Vice had 4K, $30,000 cameras, higher than 4K. I don't know. The best cameras they have out, probably the Magic or the Dragons or whatever they're called, Reds. They're sitting there, who's giving them a platform? Who's giving Richard Spencer the most platform? It's been ESPN, Vice News. They're blowing the far right up. They're giving it attention, and then they're somehow being idiotic. Like, they blow up somebody, and they're like, look how crazy and kooky they are. But then they don't realize that they're so crazy, kooky, and pathetic that to a lot of people who watch it, they're like, all right, that guy's crazy, but you guys are pretty dumb too. So it's like, you're growing the movement, And people like Trump are keeping it normal. Trump's like, he's for everybody of every race, religion, and gender. He doesn't care. Just work and don't be an idiot. And they hate him so much, they're going to usher in these times. It's crazy. But interesting. All right, we're gonna take off, guys. I don't want this to be too long. But someone said I've been shot and burned. Man, you're a legend. You're making me feel stronger now. I've only been stabbed by a spike in the ground. Greg. All right, God bless you guys. God bless America. God bless your family, and God bless the world. Someone just said cocaine is everywhere. I have no idea what you're talking about. Maybe to someone else, but that comment was just hilarious to me. If you don't do anything, please sign up to my free email list. It's 100% free. I never spam. I hate emails, and I hate getting emailed 5 times a week. I email like once every 2 or 3 months, but I'm working on a live event. I want to keep you updated with it. I got a team together. Thank you to Scriber News. They're helping me throw this together. Really cool people. Jamie and Mike helping me out a lot. We're going to throw a live event in Los Angeles. If it goes, it's going to be it's going to be new, it's going to be fresh, it's going to be different, and if it goes well, I'm going to take it all over the U.S. because no one would book me for these events. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to book myself since they act like I can't speak here. So we're doing our own thing. It's going to be awesome, and I think it's going to go well, and we'll take it all around the U.S. and we'll meet you in person, have debates, discussions, and try to make something fresh. So sign up to the free email list. Thank you guys for being here, and stay safe. To my people in California who are close to the epicenter, I hope nothing happened. I hope everybody's safe and secure. And also, I have a bad feeling that another earthquake is going to come. I pray that it doesn't. And hopefully the elevator works in my apartment because I can't take the stairs. So that's where I'm going to wrap up today. Have a good one, guys. Good night. And that was fun. We'll do that more often maybe. That was a good time.